fighting games are something. I don't know what the topic is. The topic's a surprise for me.
They are quite a thing. By the way, this time I actually remembered to put the bingo card into the recording thing, so let's see if that works.
Oh,
Viewer, you should see the bingo card. Make a picture of it.
yes.
Because this is the only way I can figure out how to consistently have it in the videos. There you go. There you had it.
All right. I've got it up on my screen as well.
All right, I don't have it, but it's not that hard to pull up.
Yes.
So yeah. Fighting games are well. First, let's look at the news. So, has there been anything newsworthy recently? Because I don't remember, honestly.
Well, I hate to. Today I won't get the Alex can't remember the news bingo. I'll say yesterday there was the announcement of Elizabeth in KOF 15. Yes. Is she the final character? I haven't been keeping track.
Me neither. I don't think so. I think there were like 2 or 3 more teams left, but at the same time, I can check.
Because Elizabeth would be a weird one to end it on. Because if Ash is going to be there, Elizabeth's going to be there.
Yeah. All right, let's see. The recording is not dying yet. Boy, it's taking a while to actually freaking get there. So do we know?
Oh no.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck with the thing of like, ooh, do I commentate or is this a bunk recording and we have to start over? Because that's always a spicy moment right there.
Yeah, that's always great. Okay, so okay, those are the new characters. That's not because they don't have a team. Where do I get to see?
There can't be too much left. It feels like they've been marketing it for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, I feel like there's only like 1 or 2 teams left, if even that. And like by that I mean like 1 or 2 teams are missing like 2 characters or maybe 1 even.
Yeah.
Okay, so this does not help me. Let's look at the other side. Where is the other side? Yes, the very secret source of information, Wikipedia.
I mean, we've been figuring for a while that the final character has to be a big shock like Rugal, or there's no way they'd end on sports team. As much as you and I love the sports team, and as much as the sports team have demand, I don't think the sports team would be an appropriate character to end the reveals on. But they would be appropriate for first DLC.
I don't think they'd be first DLC. I feel like first DLC would be like the fan favorites that got left out of the base roster, and then
so Kim.
Yeah, either Kim or like Geese. I don't remember if Geese was announced because Geese would probably sell DLC.
Could you imagine if there was a fucked up Fatal Fury team of Kim and Geese and someone else?
Kim, Geese, and Terry, even though he's already in the game.
Terry number 2.
Yeah.
Real about Terry. There we go.
Yeah, there's a Terry 2. It's a clone of Terry. Like there was a KO2.
Oh. No. You remember
there's a clone of Terry. It's just got Bogard.
Yes. Chizuru did it again. God bless her. Evil Bogard.
Okay, no, it seems like we have all of the teams.
Kusanagi wasn't evil, was he? Kusanagi wasn't supposed to be evil. He was good. He was just an asshole or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, I think. But yeah, it seems like we have all of the teams, actually.
All right.
Or at least from what I can tell.
So Elizabeth was the last character they revealed. That's very strange. I would not be shocked then if the first DLC is villain team and it's Rugal, Geese, and who would be an appropriate villain from Art of Fighting?
There's one character that we don't know yet, and that's the boss. That's it.
That's true. It'd be weird if the final boss was Rugal again after all these years, but at the same time, it wouldn't be shocking.
I mean, like, if Rugal is the boss of this game as well, they really should just make like give him a resurrection like level 3 super where if you kill him and he has like all of his bars of super, then he just fucking blows up.
No, here's what they should do. The regular final boss is regular Rugal. But if you go through the arcade mode without losing a single match, then you go against Omega Rugal, and he's just as broken as he was in the classic games.
Yeah, and if you beat Omega Rugal without losing a round, then he gets the freaking the super where he just blows up and you die.
Fuck you for doing too well.
Yeah. Omega
Try again, lose more.
Omega Rugal blows up your PS5.
Oh, even if you don't own a PS5, it blows up a PS5 somewhere in the world.
Yeah. That's what solidifies Rugal as an evil character.
Yeah.
He does damage to you IRL.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, like, if you beat Omega Rugal without losing a single round, you unlock a picture of nude Melina or something.
You unlock a picture of nude Rugal.
Rugal wearing nothing but bandages. There we go. Can you believe?
I'm trying to imagine how they would like censor it so it's somewhat tasteful. Like, you know, like the freaking the eye laser that comes out from his Orochi eye from moving just covers his dick.
I mean, you remember Bandage Melina, don't you?
Somewhat, yeah.
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 Fucking beating Omega Rugal in the hardest difficulty on like sexy Iori from KOF 2002.
Yeah. That'd be too powerful.
Yeah.
Now, however, if it unlocked Mrs. X, that might be awesome.
What if Mrs. X is the final boss of KOF 15?
Oh God. I will forever choose to believe that it's not even a female Iori. No, it's just male Iori, regular Iori. But he's so insistent on winning every tournament that for the women only tournaments, he cross dresses so he can win those too.
Yeah, I mean, from what little I remember of Iori's personality, which like you have to remember, most of what I actually know about Iori is like sort of just recent stuff and from how he behaves in the actual games. But like I don't remember most of KOF's lore because when I played the KOF games, I couldn't read, which makes it kind of hard. So yeah.
Well, I mean, the Western copies of 2002, don't they still have win quotes in Japanese?
Not always. You can set it so it's in Japanese, yes.
Ah.
And
why did I set it to Japanese then?
Because when before the game has rollback, if we set it to Japanese, then the net code quality increased somehow. I don't know how.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
I don't know how that worked, but it did.
Well, it's just inbuilt racism. You know how it is.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, there's your KOF 15 roster, which like, you know, I could be butthurt about not having like most of my boys in the game, but at the same time I understand that like KOF is one of those one of the last series that actually gives a shit about the lore. And so Kim is not in this game because he didn't do anything for the past 20 years. So
yeah.
Like there's only so many times he can try to freaking fix Chang and Choi. And okay, Chang and Choi are not in the base game. This is a net positive.
Oh man. Oh God. Now I gotta. Well, Xanadu. I'll miss Xanadu. Xanadu is stupid, but I like him.
Xanadu was the right kind of dumb. I really like how he had like I really like his eyes. I really like how he always looks like he just snorted like 5 kilos of coke.
Yeah. You telling me he didn't with some of those moves he does?
I mean, we can't confirm nor deny that Xanadu is in fact Hollywood elite. So.
Oh God.
But yeah, anyway. Were there any news aside from that?
Well, it's usually after throughout January, the wear off from Christmas, everybody's spent their money, so they try to slow down on news.
Yeah, true.
I mean, is there any like fighting game news to come from the Activision deal? Activision doesn't make any fighting games.
I don't think so.
Hang
I'm
on.
trying to think of anything, but I'm
Well, hang on.
yeah.
Hold the fucking phone.
Yes.
The X-Men Academy fighting games were made by Activision.
Ah,
I only know that because I have a copy of X-Men Next Dimension right next to me, and I went and checked the box. So if they decide to bring back that series that's been dead for 20 years, that's fairly big fighting game news.
yeah. Okay. Technically, this could be fighting game news because
It's rare that I get to pull like out of nowhere reference that just leaves you like lost for words, you know?
Yeah. The thing
Usually
is, like,
that's your job.
the thing is that like we have two it's very similar, but at the extremities differing like points of expertise even with fighting games. Because I'm more on the Japanese bullshit side of just like whatever the fuck freaking Odin Sphere Leiftraser and stuff like that. Which do we even know about Odin Sphere Leiftraser? I think that's the one. It was an Odin Sphere game.
I think I've
Whatever.
heard of Odin Sphere, but not Lift Raziel or what you said.
I don't even know if I'm saying the game's name right because I genuinely cannot remember the second half of that word. I remember Leaf, as in Leif, and that's it. After
Oh,
this tag,
Japanese Love Leaf.
yeah,
Why?
I'm not sure, but yeah. So that was that game. I didn't play it, but I have heard of it. It was like when I heard it, you could only import it from Japan, and it was only for like the Xbox 360, and I didn't even own an Xbox 360 at that point. So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, but that's my expertise, and you're more knowledgeable about the like actual licensed obscure stuff from like comics and shit, which I wouldn't know about because I didn't get to read comics because
Yeah.
I chose to be born on the wrong side of the world for that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
yeah.
Yeah, the Activision Blizzard deal does not actually really affect fighting games, so I guess it's not worth talking about. Though I guess
It
it is
could.
something to bring up on the
I
Sugar Mouth
mean,
Lounge.
technically, it could affect fighting games because you have to consider Microsoft, if I remember correctly, did say that they want to make another Killer Instinct, and Killer Instinct 2013 or whichever I forget when it released, the last one, that had crossovers with their dead IPs. So what I'm saying is Tracer may be in Killer Instinct whenever the next one comes out.
That Tracer wouldn't fit. I mean, like when they did a crossover with
I'm saying Tracer just because she's the mascot of Overwatch.
Oh, sure. Like, I get that. I'm just saying, like, when they crossed over with Halo, they didn't get Master Chief. They got Arbiter, you know?
Yeah. I mean, who would fit from into
Reaper.
yeah, Reaper, and then from WoW
Like,
you
Killer
could
Instinct's a bit, like, edgy, and Tracer, I don't think, is quite edgy enough for it, whereas Reaper is.
yeah from WoW. There's two right answers.
Hellscream?
Three right answers, but
Oh, Lich King. Lich King
yeah,
would be
yeah,
like I don't know much about World of Warcraft, but I know Lich King would be awesome to have in Killer Instinct.
yeah. You could have him. I'm forgetting his name. I literally was about to say his name and then I forgot it. That's great. But yeah,
The Lich King and Hellscream are the only two World of Warcraft characters I know.
there's also this new chick that they're pushing, which like okay, WoW lore moment because I don't actually know a lot about WoW lore. I played WoW during the Rise of the Lich King, and then I know some bits about the story before and after, but I never really paid too much mind to it. So I will probably get shit wrong. But basically there's this chick who is a blood elf that they've been pushing for the past 5 expansions or something like that. And she just kicks everyone's ass and she's very edgy and she came back from the dead. Like she used to be good, but she came back from the dead and now she's evil. So she
So she
would.
is a blood elf.
Well, yeah, but blood elves aren't necessarily evil. I don't think so. Maybe I don't fucking know. like,
Yeah.
like technically, just because they're on the Horde side doesn't mean that they're evil necessarily. It's just that they don't want the Alliance ruling over them because they are stinky people. I say this as an Alliance player, but
Yeah. Would the perfect Blizzard licensed character to take for Killer Instinct not be Sarah Kerrigan?
you're gonna have to
Like
remind me
she
who
already kind of
Sarah
has the
Kerrigan
Killer
is.
Instinct aesthetic. Sarah Kerrigan is the worm-haired woman from StarCraft, Queen of Zerg.
Ah, maybe, yeah.
Like she's already got the Killer Instinct aesthetic, wouldn't you say?
Maybe I don't know, cause like with actual other licensed characters, like the aesthetic it usually fits together. With Killer Instinct, one of my issues is that aside from grime, I don't really notice what the aesthetic of Killer Instinct is supposed to be.
Yeah. Like I always think of Killer Instinct as like kind of an edgy '90s children's comic book is what I always think of the aesthetic of Killer Instinct as. Like almost like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode gone a little bit edgy is what most of the characters remind me of, you know. And I'm not saying that just because the Battletoads are there.
But at least partially because the Battletoads are there, or at least Rash.
Yeah.
The Killer Instinct's version of Rash is not right because it doesn't have a shit-filled diaper.
The
Anyway, so
uh,
the Microsoft okayed that. I just want to note.
yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, what other freaking IPs are there even? The Lost Vikings. Sure. Add them in as the sole tech character. Aside from the robot. I forget her name.
Well, from Activision, they can do Alex Mason, Crash, Spyro, or Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk would be great.
He would.
I'd actually buy the next Killer Instinct just to play Tony Hawk.
Imagine a command grab where you do a grind across the opponent's face.
Yeah, I was about to say like that's his mechanic. He gets to grind on the enemy, and like it gives him like freaking air infinites and shit. Like he juggles people by grinding on them in midair.
He's still got style points that he builds up.
Yeah, instead of a meter, he gets style points.
Yeah.
And then if the style points fill up the word skate, then he can do a super.
Yeah. Yo, I think we just accidentally stumbled across an interesting fighting game idea. A meter that fills up with big combos, but when you aren't doing big combo, it go down. So you can only really do supers at the end of combos.
Yeah.
That might be interesting. Some food for thought. Either which way, no Guilty Gear news, right?
I don't think so, no.
And Street Fighter, we are in the pre-game drought. Yes, I expect probably.
And speaking of, this is where the topic comes in. So recently, okay, no, that's the wrong thread. There we go.
Well, I mean, we're probably not going to see Street Fighter 6 until either E3 or Summer Game Festival this year.
So this was the only actually interesting topic that I found this 2 weeks, which is, what do you want from Street Fighter as a series? Now, I originally read this as what do you want from Street Fighter 6? And my initial thing was just like, the complete shit take of I want Street Fighter 6 to remain true to its roots. I want it to be an air dasher with infinites and also tech mechanics. But if Street Fighter 6 came out and it was just Marvel, but it was called Street Fighter 6, I wouldn't buy it.
It would be a confounding choice, that's for certain. It would not fit for most of the characters.
Yeah. But it's fine because it's a 2-button. Oh yeah, speaking of, last time I joked about that us needing Rock'em Sock'em Robots fighting game with rollback. And I actually found the Rock'em Sock'em Robots fighting game. It doesn't have rollback.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, I get that it's hard to, it's somewhat hard to put into a game, post production and stuff like that, and then it's like costly to figure out to actually put it in initially even. But
Yeah.
like you're doing like, I guess with that much input, you may not need rollback. I'm not sure. So anyway, what do you want from Street Fighter as a series to do now that it's the 35th anniversary?
Well, yeah, the 35th anniversary makes it feel like they should do a big event, though it feels like the 30th anniversary was just yesterday. Let's see. I would like to see a like. I appreciated the V system in Street Fighter Five. You know, like it was neat, but I'll be honest. Like Street Fighter Six, I want more kind of a toned down game. I'd love to see parries come back, but that won't fucking happen. In an era where we are trying to like make fighting games more simple for the sake of accessibility, yeah, parries were kind of a brutal system for playing online. Well, here's what I'll say. I don't want there to be too many meters. I want well, you know what? I'll probably work with whatever they give me for the roster. Come to think of it, I've always got guys at Street Fighter, but I want quality netcode. I want them to either choose for it to be a $60 product or free to play, one or the other. Don't go for the middle road like Street Fighter 5 did, because that fucked them. If they do want to go for the free to play route, take the Dota option. Characters are free, but loads and loads of cosmetics that are paid. Let's see, what else? If they do go down the $60 road, I want good netcode. Let's see, I want an unlockable costume for every character. Sure, just for the hell of it, why not? And I want a decent sized roster. I want arcade modes, because if you're gonna make us pay $60 for a single player for a product that will feature single player, it should probably come with single player. And other than that, I struggle to think of something that they could do that's already a single player tradition for Street Fighter that would add much in the way of depth. The truth be told, like
Cinematic battles or whatever they were called, those could be fun.
those were cool. Yeah, in Street Fighter 4, those were cool.
No, not those ones. The ones in the home releases of Alpha. I'm forgetting the name of the things. The dramatic battles or something like that.
I never put much time in with those. Though if they did add like the multi-person battles from Alpha as well, that'd be kind of nuts. It wouldn't be a whole lot of content because it was so broken. It's like there's not much point in putting time into it. It's so broken. Though okay, if they did do a Mortal Kombat 9 style tag team mode, that would be interesting because Mortal Kombat 9 tag teams were broken, but not so broken that it wasn't interesting to look into. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a world of difference between like just absolute nonsense broken, just press buttons and infinites happen versus, let's say, Fist of the North Star fighting game where it's like, this shit's broken and I want to see just how broken it can get.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look at the difference between the dribbling combo in Fist of the North Star versus X-Men Next Dimension, which I have right next to me, where if you're grounded, Sabretooth can air grab you for free from anywhere in the air, which makes
fine.
it infinite.
That's fine. Like, that's balanced. Finally, grapplers actually get to do stuff.
Oh God.
I don't get people who are like that. Like even when it happens with like easy combo infinites with like rush down people and stuff like that. Like why? Why do you want to make the game less fun?
Well, it's like it's like Dead by Daylight with people saying, well, things are lopsided against the killer, so it's fair for the killer to camp. Like, no, that's not the solution. No, sir. Yeah, it's the yeah. I don't get like if you start playing grappler and you bitch about like, oh, I can't fucking do nothing. It's like, well, the grappler archetype is fundamentally built as playing kind of an uphill fucking battle. That's the idea. If you want to play a character who's easy to get into a dominant position, play zoner. Like, you have to know the ups and downs of the archetypes when you pick your character. And I would say that a lot of times, like, part of the appeal of the grappler is that they can have a hard time. I don't like playing Iron Taker and Blaze Blue because he's way too fucking easy to play. Like, Taker is unreasonably dominant for a grappler character, if you ask me. I'm more comfortable with Geef, where it's like you got to work to get in, but if you get in, you get good reward. You know?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
I can really talk about grapplers because usually when I play grapplers, I prefer the ones who are more bruisers, like people who are. But no, not even bruisers, because like I was going to say, oh, Soul Bad Guy, but I don't really play Soul Bad Guy. The only character that I really play who could be centered around grapple is Kazuki Kazama in Some Show 5, and like he's
Ibuki?
Kazuki.
No. I'm asking Ibuki in Street Fighter.
Is Ibuki a grab character?
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. I completely forgot about her grab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess those two, but like I guess they tend to be people who are actually rather fragile and more about the movement, and then they can also do a grab. And then if I want to play a grappler character, then I want them to be like Geef, because like I can play Geef too, and I can have fun with Geef too, or like Alex. But I don't want Geef to have a teleport. At least not
Yeah.
not without freaking nerfing. Yeah, at least not without nerfing the damage of the SPD. They win something, lose something.
The the oh man, I didn't get to mention it, but in the meantime, between this fighting games are and the last one, I introduced Mike to Street Fighter 4, and we went through and showed Mike every single character on the roster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to Seth, and I was like, okay, so Seth's fucking broken. And it's you gotta love the build up to Seth, where it starts off with, oh yeah, he has the Sonic Boom. Oh yeah, he has the Shoryuken. Oh yeah, he's lightning legs. Oh yeah, he's got the fucking Zangief pile driver and the Dulcine teleport. Get fucked.
Like
the
best way to introduce Seth is to do an arcade or arcade ladder with the person you're trying to introduce to Seth. Play the arcade ladder on the hardest difficulty up to Seth, and then give them the controller, and they will know. they will know.
The only way I could get up there is by doing the Zangief Lariat exploit. One thing you can at least say about AI Seth in arcade mode is at least he's nice enough to not do the Dulcine teleport and Zangief grab until the second round.
No, he does it. He did it to me in the first one too. At least once.
Oh,
I remember it happening.
That must be a higher difficulty thing. On normal difficulty, he doesn't do those moves until the second round.
Maybe.
Regardless, what were we going to talk about? Street Fighter 6, right?
Yeah.
I will say with Street Fighter 6, on the grappler note, I love having a variety of grapplers, but I want there to be less grapplers than there were in Street Fighter 4, because Street Fighter 4 got a little bit nuts. Half the fucking roster in 4 is like command grab characters.
Do you mean 5?
I
don't remember if 4's roster had that many command grab characters. I guess the thing is, when I think of command grab character, I think of like Zangief and Hakan. I don't think of Ibuki.
Well, there is Ibuki. Hugo, Abel.
Oh, true. Yeah.
E Honda, Seth. Let's see. There was a good couple more. Hakan. Yeah, you already said Hakan. T-Hawk is in there. He's a command grab character as well. There's a good couple more command grab characters if memory serves.
Fuerte.
Fuerte, right? Fuerte's a big one. Fuerte's a big one. Like, I mean, realistically speaking, I think you only need 4 or 5 command grab characters.
I mean, the thing with those characters too is that like they're not like, I guess one of the reasons I may not remember them is that they're not really differentiated that well. It's just like T-Hawk is Zangief but has a dash, kind
Yeah.
of, and then Honda is Zangief but has ass,
Yeah.
which is why I usually play him as ass.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think it's inevitable that Street Fighter 6 will feature the entirety of the classic Street Fighter 2 cast because every Street Fighter game does now. So you're immediately going to have Geef and Honda. And T-Hawk missed out on 5, so he's almost certainly going to be in.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. Well, no, I like T-Hawk, but it's annoying that the Street Fighter 2 cast has to get in when there are some losers on the Street Fighter 2 cast.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Alex come back.
What we really need is Rolento.
It has been a while for Lento, actually.
I mean, it's been 2 games. Well, it would be 2 games with Street Fighter 6. So it's fine. Like, he skipped how many between those 2?
Rolento has missed out on 3, 4, and 5, so he missed out on 3 games in a row.
No, he was in 4.
Yes, my brain wasn't working. I was thinking of Sodom, not Rolento. Yes, Sodom's been missing for a good while.
Yes, Sodom's not coming back without a rename.
Yeah, but it would be fairly easy to rename him.
Yeah.
He already had a different name in the original Western localization of Final Fight. There we go.
They bring him back and his name is Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Or even better,
that one they may get away with. Sodom they can't get away with because people hear it and they think, oh, sodomization.
Yeah. But even better, they bring him back as like an actual, a somewhat more serious character, and they call him Goose.
Heh.
Just the one.
Son of a bitch, I had it. I do wonder if Street Fighter 6 part of the focus is going to be bringing back some of the characters that missed out from Alpha and 3. Which, come to think of it, every character from Alpha in either 4 or 5 except Sodom?
Eagle,
right. Oh, I miss Eagle.
And then, I don't think Judy and Junie, not Judy, Julie and Junie, I don't think they came back. And then who else? Although I'm not sure if they count because they were secret characters.
They were, but I feel like which one is T-Hawk's sister?
I'm not sure.
Whichever one is T-Hawk's sister, I could see them bringing back with T-Hawk, you know?
Yeah.
And from 3, the only ones that haven't returned yet have been Necro, 12, and who else? Technically Q, but not really.
It may
Necro, 12, Sean.
It may just be that, yeah, Necro and Sean. Well, technically 12 is back, but he's Mokujin now. So...
Remy.
Yeah, Remy.
Well, Remy and 12 aren't coming back. 12 because no one likes him, or if anyone does like him, it's because he's such a loser. Remy's not coming back because we have Guile.
What if Remy comes back? What if Remy comes back, but he has white hair and red clothes?
That'd certainly be interesting. I feel like that was already an alternate color.
Probably. I'm just saying that they do like a shitty rip of Tesco Ash Crimson, and then Capcom vs SNK3 gets a build up. I mean, Remy was already yeah.
Imagine if a trailer for Street Fighter 6 starts with Remy, and then he just gets drop kicked off screen by fucking Ash.
Yeah.
Sean, I could see Sean coming back since Street Fighter 5 introduced Laura, and they might want to have Laura and Sean in the same game for once.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of what other characters that they've left behind, but like aside from like SF1, which we don't talk about, I can't really think of any. Like,
they can still pull from Street Fighter 1. I wouldn't be shocked to see what was his name, Kage?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see him. Joe and Mike are gone forever.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Joe they literally cannot use because he's in another game. Like literally just that same character is in KOF now. So and then freaking
What?
oh no, I'm okay. Yeah, no, I'm mixing it. Yeah, I'm mixing the designs for the characters.
I thought Joe
It's
was just
fine.
the white guy in jeans.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
of course, I also want Eagle to come back from Street Fighter One. Of course.
yeah. We need Lee. Lee needs to come back with his Feng Wei hitbox bullshittery from Street Fighter One.
I don't even remember who Lee is.
Lee's a guy that Ryu fights on the Great Wall of China, and Lee has this great ability to step between Ryu's legs, and then just cross him up like that. I think it's a,
I do.
I don't think it's supposed to happen, but it happens. So just make it freaking on purpose in Street Fighter 6.
I'm looking it up. I don't remember. I don't remember who that is.
It's literally just a Chinese dude.
Oh,
That's
yes,
it.
it is. Chinese man. Yeah, Retsu also probably not coming back.
Do you think that they're gonna bring Birdie back with a cold? As an alternate costume.
We're not getting White Birdie, I'll tell you that much. They're definitely never going to bring back White Birdie. Capcom can be dumb sometimes, but they're smart enough not to do White Birdie.
Do you think they'll give Sagat his old legs back?
I'd love for that to happen.
Where his knees start around his ankles.
They announced the next character for Street Fighter 6 is Old Sagat, and some people get excited because they think it's going to be Street Fighter 2 Classic Sagat. No.
And then they do a remix of his Street Fighter 1 team, but it uses the same sound font.
He can only do 5 moves. They're the most powerful 5 moves in the game.
He can only do 5 moves, but three of them are an unblockable sweep.
Yeah. And when he wins, he makes the oh stinky face.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Street Fighter 1.
Street Fighter 1 is the perfect game to show to people so that they can go, how the fuck did this become a series?
Yeah.
Sometimes you play the first installment of a game and you're like, oh yeah, I can see where people freaking paid money to actually play this, and like why people enjoy it and stuff like that. Not Street Fighter 1. Like Street Fighter, the only way you enjoyed Street Fighter 1 is because there was nothing else.
Yeah. Back in my day, we played shitty fighting games, Street Fighter 1, and we liked it.
But I mean, the thing is, like, didn't you already have like beat 'em ups and other fighting games that weren't also like that they differed more from Street Fighter 1 with their styles, but like existed. Like
good question. Let me look that up.
Like I think Karate Fight was already out by Street Fighter 1's release and stuff like that. So like technically, fighting games did exist. It just wasn't the type of fighting games that we know. It wasn't exactly that, at least.
So okay, Street Fighter 1 was 83. Final Fight 1 was 89. So it wouldn't come out for another 2 years.
But yeah, but Final Fight was supposed to be Street Fighter 2, I think.
Initially, yes.
But I'm saying that like other companies had released beat 'em ups or fighting and even like maybe fighting games before that just weren't as clearly designed to work that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was boxing for Atari way back in the day.
Yeah.
Boy, you want to see a jank ass old fighting game? Ooh boy.
But yeah, Street Fighter 6. By the way, if you haven't crossed off the bingo thing yet, do so now.
Yeah, I think I've got Ingo. I just don't have B yet. I think.
I'm not keeping count, honestly. I have too much stuff to keep track of on my end to make things not blow up.
Hit Street Fighter 6 speculation for I. For N, we've hit intro is delayed by Addy setup. For G, we've hit lore character discussion leads to an at least 10-minute tangent unrelated to fighting games.
True.
And for O, we've hit schedule slip.
Yeah.
So at some point during the podcast, either we need to have an hour-long talk about fighting game accessibility, an hour-long tangent about a fighting game story. You need to cite Guilty Gear Xrd as an example of good fighting game design. You need to bring up Akuma or Rugal as a guest character in an inappropriate fighting game for them. Or one of us to forget which podcast we're on and act like we're on the Shut Your Mouth Lounge instead.
Yeah. I'd say I'll keep that in mind, but I would be lying. So,
Yeah.
some or more of those may happen. But either way, yeah, Street Fighter 6. But on my end, I don't even know what I want out of Street Fighter 6, honestly, because like
Akuma at launch.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like Akuma at launch, single player content. That's pretty much it.
Akuma at launch, single player content, combo variety.
I mean, there's only so much I expect out of Street Fighter. Is the thing. Like, like I don't expect Street Fighter. I don't expect Street Fighter's combos to start being Marvel. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Like, if it did, I would adjust, but it would still feel weird. Like I'm used to Street Fighter's combos being more like more on the short side and to the point, and like I may not like it, but at the same time that defines what Street Fighter is to me. So
Hang on. Soon's just now figuring out what. I think Soon just tried to barge into our recording, but got stopped because he can't anymore.
I see.
So I'm having to explain to him, no, Addy did not just decide to ban you for no reason one day.
That's what you think.
Oh, ooh, I knew you were getting sick of him.
But yeah. And then I think this discussion could lead into another one which has been had recently, which is like, what is there to look forward to in fighting games just overall? Because like we have KOF 15, we have DNF Duel coming out like this upcoming year. That's pretty much it as far as we know, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm having to talk with Soon on the side. Okay, DNF Duel and what?
I'm saying like this could lead into another discussion of like what is there to look forward to in this year for fighting games, and as far as we know, it's only KOF 15 and DNF Duel, isn't it?
That is true. There will definitely be more Strive DLC out and about, and there'll probably be announcements for Fighter Z too. Unless Fighter Z keeps going with DLC, which I wouldn't have a problem with. There is, of course, Persona 4 Arena, and it possibly getting rollback support, which may be the testing grounds for 5 Arena, maybe, if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Though at this point, they should honestly just start work on 6 Arena.
I mean, like the thing is that it's Atlas, so we don't actually know what they're thinking, because Atlas thinks in very abstract and unusual ways.
That's true. There were like 2 years between Persona 3 and Persona 4, and then there were like 7 years between Persona 4 and Persona 5. I mean, the trouble with working on a Persona 5 Arena, I think more than anything, would be that they'd have to make new sprites for all the Persona 4 characters.
Yeah.
Unless they want to say they haven't aged at all, which I doubt they want to do that. Because all Persona 3 characters that return for Persona 4 have aged up considerably and are now very different people.
Especially the Protag.
Yeah. I think there's going to be more to this year than that. It's just that we've not seen a whole lot of announcements yet. There's, for one thing, Iron Galaxy's been trying to butter up Disney and Marvel for setting up a Marvel vs. Capcom collection. There's, of course, going to be Street Fighter 6. We know that. I mean, Luke's already the hint of it.
We don't know if it's coming out this year. We know if it will happen in like probably next year.
There's rumblings about a new KI, which did you see? I haven't watched the video, but did you see Max say that he like thinks there's a chance that fucking that Bamco that Harada is going to be making KI for?
No, but honestly, I don't I don't know what I would expect out of that. Like technically, okay, Bamco doing it, I can see because Bandai Namco is a very big company with a lot of money and a lot of subsidiaries that they can delegate the work to, and depending on who gets that work, the game could end up looking very very different. Cause like it's different if the Tekken team gets it and we get like a 3D KI if that's what they do, and it's different if CyberConnect 2 gets it, because if CyberConnect 2 gets it, then there's gonna be an interesting experience. I'm gonna tell you what.
Well, between that and Smash, it would seem that Bamco now just makes everybody else's fighting games for them.
Yeah, it's Bamco or Arxis. They're the two.
I guess so, yeah. Which, let's see, what else is... I mean, Tekken will probably get a new DLC season this year, unless it's over, in which case we're going to start seeing the build-up of Tekken 8. Which, oh boy, I am not ready for that.
We're gonna cinematic, and it's freaking Akuma again, and then all of the Tekken people quit on the spot.
I got bingo. Addy suggests Akuma / Rugal for a guest character.
There you go.
Oh boy. Tekken, now that they've opened the floodgates on guest characters in Tekken, and they've proven that there's no logical pattern to these guest characters, because fuck it, here's Negan, I guess.
I mean, no, you're wrong though. They didn't open the door on guest characters. They reopened it. Think of Tekken 3.
Yeah. I try not to.
Hell, think of Tekken Tech 2. Snoop Dogg wasn't playable, but they still can't do anything about the stuff that was in Tekken Tech 2 that was Snoop Dogg related anymore.
Yeah, that is true too. I mean, like, honestly, at this point, I'm almost expecting, like, Tekken 8 gets announced featuring guest character fucking Tim Allen from Tool Time or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Freaking, I'm forgetting her name.
Now,
yeah?
Get ready for the next battle, Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm trying to think of the freaking the cooking show host woman that went to jail. I'm forgetting her name.
Oh, Martha Stewart.
Yeah, Martha Stewart.
Well, that'd have to be a dual character. It'd have to be Martha and Snoop.
Yeah. Well, one half of that team is a hardened criminal. The other half is Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
But yeah. Who else would be just like dumb? I guess. Like,
well, there's just a whole variety. Like, there's of course the ones that are just outright dumb because they have no right fighting, which of course we've been picking like sitcom characters and cooking show hosts. I feel like one that would be stupid but still somehow fit would be if they actually got like a wrestler. If they actually got Okada, they didn't just have an Okada attire for King.
Oh yeah.
Or grab a WWE wrestler. That'd be interesting. I feel like Randy Orton would actually fit in Tekken really well, honestly.
But yeah, but like if they put in a wrestler, then it would have to be someone who's supposed to be their mascot now. So probably someone from New Day, even though it's dead, but it's not dead. You see.
No, if they want to go with a modern guy from WWE, they would either go with Roman or Brock, or maybe Rollins. Rollins would also be cool as a Tekken character. Not gonna lie.
His Tekken moveset is just all of the moves he got banned.
Yeah. Just small package drivers into buckle bombs constantly. Yeah. Occasionally, you can wrap it with a curb stomp.
Oh, and then his round start animation is his old shitty mosh pit taunt.
Yeah. Oh man, nowadays Rollins even dresses like a fucking Tekken character. Now that he's doing the Drip Lord gimmick.
I hope that's like a modernized vampire gimmick, and he sucks the drip out of other people.
They just get worse and worse fashion sense as he wrestles.
Yeah. But yeah. What? I mean, since we already had a weapons user in Noctis, hear this out. Dante with the gloves.
Okay, fucking Discord won't let me talk. Okay, there we go. I'm making noises that are too high pitched for it. Okay. Yeah, it's Dante. I love Dante. Would not fit in Tekken.
No, like Dante gets imported from Marvel.
I mean, I get that you're going for the meme here, but I mean, like Dante and Soul Calibur was more tantalizing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, Dante and Soul Calibur makes sense, and we don't make sense around here, especially since well, I said I Noctis. Fucking Negan has a bet.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, I'm trying to go for characters like Negan, stinky memes that could still fit in the game, like to a bizarre degree. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because to me, like Negan doesn't fit in the same way that Geese and Akuma don't fit. But at the same time, with Geese and Akuma, I'm like, well, you know, I know these people, so like I'm okay with it because they like, even though Tekken is its own thing, Tekken still shares the DNA with Street Fighter. So it all ties back together to Street Fighter, and so does Geese. Because you know, if Street Fighter 2 doesn't happen, or Street Fighter as a series doesn't happen, neither does Fatal Fury, and then eventually KOF.
Yeah, Negan doesn't fit because he's unrelated to fighting games and just Japanese media in general. But what I mean is Negan's not that much of a meme because he's like still mostly on level with most of the Tekken characters and a guy who can reasonably stand up in a fight, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm thinking of dumb characters for Tekken DLC, I'm thinking along those lines of like just out of left field, what the fucks, but you could still reasonably see having a fighting style, right?
Yeah, Yagami from Judgment.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, like, again, I think
here's the thing though. Yagami is fucking dead. Like, officially speaking, Yagami is dead because the talent agency of the actor he's based on made us think. And now, if Judgment 3 happens, he's not in the game.
I mean, like, more than that, I assume Yagami runs into the same issues that Kiryu does, which is Yakuza director doesn't want them in because he doesn't like the idea of fighting women.
That's the thing though. The Yakuza director left, so he can go fuck himself as far as company policies go.
That is true, but at the same time, you know how Japanese companies work. They're going to try and respect his wishes.
Yeah.
Majima is still, like, I think the only Yakuza team guy that could possibly get in, and even that's a stretch. I think there's still a decent chance they could just handle the whole thing with a net policy of no Yakuza team characters in Tekken.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, like, that's the thing though. Like, that's why I don't understand the explanation of the Yakuza director is that Kiryu hit a woman on screen. Hell, she wasn't even a woman, technically. Kiryu hit a girl on screen. Because...
Well, what kind of hit are you talking? Like, just a simple slap, or...
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's... In a lot of people's eyes, that's entirely different from just absolutely kicking the shit out of people and suplexing them, you know?
I mean, legally speaking, I guess. At the same time, it's not too far, in my eyes.
Well, I mean, in your individual eyes, yes, but there are a lot of people who don't see slapping as violence, at least not to that degree. Especially if it's a fairly old-fashioned culture like Japan. Like, you understand what I mean here.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Like, I mean, With a lot of this stuff, it's just like absolute insanity because Negan. The picture painted by Negan is you have no idea who the fucking next Tekken crossover character is.
But we
Right?
do.
Like
We do. It's Kermit the Frog with 2 katanas smoking a blunt.
oh, fuck me, I forgot, man. Jesus.
And then the
I don't know
DLC
how.
after and then the DLC after him is Thomas the Tank Engine.
Ah, he can't even fit on screen.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking flock of falling father figures. You just start the screen, your character versus nothing, and then Thomas the Tank Engine falls on you.
Yeah. So like it's edited like the memes, and when Thomas the Tank Engine runs your character over, his team starts playing.
But it's the horribly bass boosted version.
Yeah. And then for maximum accuracy, Biggie Smalls is driving Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay. He's back for the people.
Yeah.
Dude.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite time of actually playing Tekken 7 when the first season of DLC was getting released, and Harada kept retweeting those images, and going like shit, it leaked.
It's like Harada's starting to like Harada and Ed Boon are almost like the alternate like side of the world equivalents, aren't they?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh god, could you imagine if those two worked together on Virtua Fighter 6?
It would be interesting.
Yeah. Oh boy, in one ear and the other ear. Oh boy, like Battle of the Lies. Oh fuck.
Freaking like Ed Boon confirms that the Hawk will be in Virtua Fighter 6. Harada nods.
Yeah. I imagine they could pull off some good team action, like Harada retweeting a picture of fucking Biggie Smalls driving the Thomas the Tank Engine, and Ed Boon replies to him, "God damn it, Harada, I'm gonna be calling management over this. You can't just release this shit."
I think he may have actually gotten into trouble for that with management though, because he stopped.
Harada or Boon?
Harada.
All right. Yeah, is there any other like fighting games that are probably coming out relatively soon, by which I mean like in a year or two, that haven't been announced yet, but everybody knows? Because there's a good couple of those. We're in the news lull period right now.
Yeah. Well, that we know for sure, but they haven't been announced yet. I don't know. Yeah?
There's been rumors floating around about a Marvel 4 happening for a good while now.
But yeah, but between those rumors, the people were also like, oh, freaking, I also wanted to call them Bethesda for some reason. NetherRealm is going to make Marvel versus DC and stuff like that.
Yeah, which that was immediately like, oh, bullshit.
I don't remember. I don't remember who made that freaking that comparison and why, but I remember someone like assuming something about fighting games, and then the person who made the video that I watched just went, Batman will be in Marvel 4 before then. Which yeah, that would be a sight, wouldn't it? This Batman.
Of all the fucking characters, too, who can't fly. The NetherRealm's a big question. Because, I mean, like, for one thing, yeah, like, the whole DC relation doesn't seem as strong as it used to be. COVID delays are kicking in. So it's like, are we going to see Injustice 3, or are they just going to go fuck it and go straight to Mortal Kombat 12? Or, God help us all, would they have the capability to do what Ed Boon has wanted to do for several years now, and not Virtua Fighter 6?
MK versus DC 2.
No, oh god, no. He's wanted to do a horror movie villain fighting game for a few years.
Terrordrome, but this time
Yeah,
funded.
yeah. Terrordrome with more money and less combo freedom. I think like a lot of what we're looking forward to is a lot of cases of like I just hope that a lot of these developers have learned from their mistakes, right?
Yeah,
I hope Capcom's learned from Street Fighter 5. I hope NetherRealm has learned from Mortal Kombat 11, you know?
yeah. I hope the Tekken team can figure out how to actually put rollback into freaking 3D space. Maybe not though. I don't know what to expect with them.
I mean, like they've always been able to pull off technical wonders. Tekken has, for the most part, been the most beautiful games on any given platform. Though I'd say Tekken 7 kind of fell behind a little bit. Tekken 7 looks nice in a lot of areas, but it's not one of the prettiest games of its generation,
I mean,
like Tekken 5 or Tekken 6 were. You know?
there's one big reason that I can point out why. Like, there's many reasons why that is, but one of the big reasons I noticed, and it bothers me. Tekken 7 has a fuck ton of film grain. Always. Film grain.
Yeah.
Film grain always looks horrible. The only reason you use heavy film grain is because you want to make sure that people can see how shit your models are. Like film grain can be used for effect in moderacy and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you're not overusing it, or if it's your aesthetic choice or whatever, it's fine. But Tekken does not have the aesthetic stylings of a VHS game, so
Yeah.
it's not set in the 80s yet.
I
But
remember Left 4 Dead 1 had shitloads of film grain. And one of the more noticeable things about Left 4 Dead 2 is, oh, hey, the film grain is either massively toned down or just gone.
because who would have thought that a lot of shitty small particles just constantly moving makes it so you can't see shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I whenever I re-download Tekken 7, I play a couple of rounds of Ghost Battle because that's all there is to do in the game aside from playing online. And then whenever I do it, the game loads for 15 minutes because I dare to not buy a PS5. And then I load into a match, and there's so much film grain that I can barely see the models. Obviously, I'm freaking exaggerating for comedy purposes, but like still, the film grain, the film grain is noticeable on most colors in the game. That's bad.
Yeah. I would say that there's also a little bit of them sticking with the art style for the characters aggressively and still trying to make the characters look video gamey, just so they look accurate the way they always do.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. What if Harada came out and announced Tekken Cross Street Fighter? He's been able to resurrect it again.
I mean, like, fucking finally, you know?
Yeah. It only took us 2 generations, but it's here.
Yeah.
And then they do a rebalanced release of freaking Cross Tekken.
Yeah. Well, that a rebalanced re-release would be nice. I gotta admit, Cross Tekken's got a lot of nice things about it. It's just the problems are, for one thing, on PC the thing barely fucking runs, and the other problem is, yeah, on disc DLC was very strange for that one.
Not only
I've
that,
pointed
but
this out before.
not only that, but wasn't it also pay to win DLC because of the Mega Man glitch? Was that shit ever
Good
fixed?
question. I don't know.
You don't know the glitch I'm talking about, though, right?
No.
There's a glitch with Mega Man where I don't remember what you need to do, but you can like cancel one of his air attacks or something like that, and he just starts fucking floating off of the screen, and people can't kill him anymore, and then the timer runs out,
Oh.
and people like
Oh.
this was banned from tournaments, so gee, I wonder why. But yeah, so Mega Man could just do that consistently, apparently.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah,
Uh,
that's the reason why Mega Man wasn't in Marvel 3. He was banned.
even though Marvel 3 came before Cross Tekken.
Yes, he was already banned by then. I mean, the better thing to say that it would have been even though the Mega Man in Marvel is X.
Well, in Infinite, it's X, but in Marvel 2, it was just regular Mega Man.
Right.
Yeah. Either which way, I think we've just
Yeah.
about run out of news. Really, there is to talk about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about other topics that may have came up, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's mostly been the same thing. People are arguing over whether or not the project tells tricky monetization works better or worse in the long run, stuff like that. What else? I don't even know. Because it's been mainly just like, the bad part about us being in an information lull is that there's also discussion lull because of it, because there's nothing to discuss.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've played any fighting games in the last 2 weeks.
I have, technically.
Technically.
Yeah, because I have played everyone's favorite fighting game, Brawlhalla. Yay.
Okay.
So, technically, the game is deeper than I thought, which is to say that it's two spoonfuls of water instead of one. No, but uh, I mean, technically, it is deeper because I thought that everybody shared more or less just their whole moveset, and what decided the differences was just the weapons that they get, which is somewhat true, but not entirely, because characters can have shared specials, and their normals I think are shared like always, but
Yeah.
characters can have unique specials, and usually they do.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, one part that I dislike about the game is that, but one part that I dislike about the game is how it's set up, pretty much. So, one of the main design things of Brawlhalla is that you start out without a weapon, and then you pick up a weapon from the ground, which spawns randomly, and then you get one of two weapons that your character can have, and that gives them a different moveset. Now, this is bad because it encourages a playstyle where people flock around the weapons and they just do nothing but dance around them, so other people can pick up their weapons and actually play the game. Because
Yeah.
even though you do have a moveset without weapons, it sucks on purpose, and you can tell that it sucks on purpose.
Uh,
So like, technically it's good enough that you can, if you play well enough, then you can get people off of the weapons. But because of both what seemed like dodgy hit detection, I guess, I don't know what to call it, to me, and because of people dancing over the weapons, because picking up a weapon can be rather frustrating, because sometimes you run past the weapon and you can pick it up while you're running past it. And other times you stand on the weapon, and then because the prompt disappeared for half a second, you just do a normal attack, which you can't
oh,
cancel.
good.
Yeah, which you can't cancel, and during which you can't pick up the weapon. And doing this while people are also dancing over the weapons is an issue. Like it could be handled if picking up the weapon wasn't so fiddly sometimes. But yeah, I guess this is the point to note that I don't actually like platform fighters. It's just not my thing. Like I played Smash 64 a bit, and I also played TMNT Smash Up, I think they called it. That's my platform fighter experience. But like,
Yeah.
so like, I have some experience, but not too much, because it just wasn't my thing. And I also never own a Nintendo console, because fuck paying that money.
Yeah.
And Brawlhalla is a game. Like like it's I don't even know what to discuss about it because like the move sets are limited, but they're okay. You can get used to them. There is a lot of using the same moves over and over again because instead of like if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Smash have 3 attack buttons? Or am I
No, it
mixing it
has
up?
jump, it has normal, it has special.
Okay, so it plays more or less the same as Smash. All right. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'd expect.
Yeah. The characters are, I mean, really, the characters are fighting like 1 or 2 specials that you like and playing around them, which is not ideal in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
it works all right, I guess. It doesn't mean that they don't have to design the characters as much, but at the same time, like you have to consider most of these characters share like a base. Like you can tell that this character and that character's frames are the same. They just put different drawings over them, but you know it's like a lot of Brawlhalla seems to be designed as to save as much money as possible, which you know makes sense from a game design standpoint. But some of those expenses could be justified from a game design standpoint as well, just to make the game actually unique or and varied.
Yeah.
And unique and varied do or does happen. Yeah, that's the grammatically proper way to say it. But yeah, unique and varied does happen, but you have to pay real money for that because those are the crossover characters.
Right, Walking Dead and WWE characters, because of
And
course that
Street
makes sense.
Fighter and Lara Croft and what else? There's something else. I think there's like a He-Man crossover or something like that. And there's a couple crossover characters, like I was in a couple IPs. Walking Dead got the most characters. I don't know why. It just straight up. I just
Well, other than Negan, you mean?
yeah
Or is it just 10 variants of Negan?
yeah. It's 10 characters. No, not 10 characters. It's like it's 6 or so characters that are not that one of whom is Negan, but isn't they're not all Negan yet.
Okay, so I'll wager then it's Negan, Rick, Daryl, Michonne. Who would be the remaining two?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like you're saying names, but I don't know them because I never watched The Walking Dead.
Ah, Carol and Dwight. There you go. Those would be the last ones. Dwight? Was his name Dwight? I think his name was Dwight. Whatever.
So yeah, they also have everyone's favorite Tekken 7 character Akuma, and then
Oh,
yeah, and then Ryu and Chun Li words. I really like how my pronunciation goes from very American to not American at all. Like it goes between actually saying shit how you're supposed to in American English and then just saying them
yeah.
how you're supposed to in Hungarian, more or less. You never know which one I'll use, and neither do I. But yeah, either way, yeah, Chun-Li is also, and so is Ryu. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
with these crossover characters, they're not actual characters. You see, they're retextures of existing characters in the game that you have to buy the skin. But the skin comes with their own moves. So what?
Okay, so it's just reskins of existing moves.
Yes, more or less.
Okay, that makes sense. Does
And
that lead to weird shit like Roman Reigns throwing fireballs, though?
I don't know. I haven't checked Roman yet, but it does really lead to weird shit like fucking Akuma with the katana. Because why the fuck not?
Oh,
They call it the
I see.
Masatsu. They call it the Masatsu sword.
Sure.
Like Akuma, most well-known person who uses aids like weapons, definitely doesn't hate them. Just straight up. Like don't get me wrong, Akuma with a sword is cool, but it's very out of character.
Yeah.
And like there's a character who pretty much exudes Satsui no Hado already, and they reskinned her to be Ryu because why not? I guess.
They could pretty well reskin the same character into both Akuma and Ryu, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't get. Is why didn't they just do that? Like Akuma and Ryu are both Shotos. They would share moves.
Yeah.
But like another funny thing is that like I don't remember if I saw if Ryu has a Tatsumaki. Akuma has his whole like more or less his whole moveset. His side special is the Ashura Senku. His down special is a Zanku Hado. He can throw a Hadoken, I think. No, he does the motion. No, okay, yeah, that's the thing they did. I think Akuma can do a Tatsumaki, but Ryu can throw a Hadoken, and the other one can do the move.
All right.
Yeah. So either way, that's a thing. I guess this is a point where we start talking about the monetization of Brawlhalla and how it affects the game and its overall quality. Which is to say, like, I am like I don't know if I went on rants before about monetization in video games, but it's a thing where I'm very opinionated about what's good monetization and not good monetization, or at least from a consumer perspective.
Yeah.
And a lot of my issues with video games recently, I guess, I don't know, it in the past like 10 years was monetization. So let's take Smite for example. We've both played Smite. Smite is a free-to-play game where skins cost a shit ton of money, but characters you get a starting roster of characters, and then you can buy them for in-game currency, which you earn for playing the game just normally. And then you periodically also get premium currency as time goes by, so that you can also access premium stuff even without shelling out money. Smite, in my opinion, justifies its monetization because it's a free-to-play game, and it also does all of that other shit that allows for ease of use for the game.
Yeah.
One step below this would be Brawlhalla, in my opinion, where it's a free-to-play game. Oh, right, one thing I forgot to mention about Smite is that you can also buy a pass that nets you all of the characters.
Yes.
And then it also extends to all of the future characters. Like those are two important parts to forget. But yeah, Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla is a free-to-play game where you don't get a starting roster. You have to buy all of the characters. You just get a free rotation of characters to choose from. So technically, there is a starting roster. It just changes weekly.
Yeah.
Then you can also buy characters for in-game currency, which you earn by playing the game normally. There is a pass that allows you access to all of the characters and all of the future installments. But things like battle passes and the premium skins and stuff like that, you have to buy for premium currency, which you do not get, at least from what I can tell. Like you either pay up or you don't get access to that content. So it's a bit worse, but it's not horrible. Under this, I consider the free version of KI 2013, where you get one character weekly. And did KI 20? Oh well, eventually I guess it did have a pass that gave you all the characters just in general, because it's not going to get any more characters anymore.
Well, nowadays you can just get it on sale for like $10 and you get all the characters and all the costumes.
Yeah. I mean, by now it's fine because it stopped development and it's still like it's like KI 2013 is in a special spot where going from a I guess a games as a service thing from a just a normal product, like the fact that it's not supported anymore doesn't matter because you can still play the game, whereas games as a service things you're unable to play once the server's shut.
Yeah.
So like,
note real quick, on PC you outright can't play the free-to-play version of KI. It's just pretty well now equivalent to just buying a game now.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's the way I got it. I forgot that KI 2013 was free to play at all at any point in its history.
But yeah, the free-to-play version of KI was fucking horrible from a monetization standpoint, because it didn't give you enough to actually experience the game, really. Like I don't think you could even. I forget. You may have been able to use characters in training mode, but that's about it. Like aside from that, if you wanted to play any of the characters that weren't in the free rotation, then or any of the character that was in the free rotation, then you had to shill out the money, which is pretty bad, in my opinion. And then like this is fucking hell. I don't even know why my throat is sore. I haven't spoken at all today, like before this, but whatever.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to go ahead and say there actually was a little bit of fighting game news, arguably fighting game news, that dropped while we are talking, which
Alright.
is they just revealed the newest character for Honor. For Honor, it's a pirate.
Alright. Cool.
He's literally just called Pirate. I don't. What team would he even be on? What side?
Japan? Or Japan or the Vikings, because Viking originally means pirate, and Japan had a problem with pirates.
No. I mean, it's literally like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a dude with a cutlass and a pistol.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They just put that dude. They just put Jack Sparrow into either the Japanese or the Viking faction. I'm fine. Either way.
Bizarre. Anyways, back to the relevant fighting games.
I don't know if it's relevant fighting games, but yeah.
Brawlhalla is sadly a lot more relevant than most.
True. But yeah, and then to I guess bring up a thing of what I consider to be very bad monetization, and it's like it's one that's whatever. Like Dead by Daylight, I think is monetized pretty badly because the game, like you have to pay for the game. The game doesn't come with all of the characters. I mean, you know, it does go on sale with the character pass for all of the non-licensed characters, but that's still not all of the characters, and still whatever amount of money to get in. And then the game also has premium season passes that you don't get the money to actually buy because you have to buy it with actual money and stuff like that. Like, okay, what else was there about it that like that just go stuff like that because you know what I'm talking about, but the viewers don't. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but we're veering off pretty hard from fighting games here and just going to whatever games you want to talk about.
Oh no, I was about to close this stuff with fighting game stuff. Like I'm just bringing it up as a example of what I think bad monetization is, because we went down as far as fighting games have veered into bad monetization so far, in my opinion, at least as far as I can tell. I guess Fantasy Strike, you could put Fantasy Strike's monetization somewhere there, but like if you want to play Fantasy Strike, you're probably buying it anyway. So like, I don't even remember how it's monetized entirely. I just think like you only get to play online, which is kind of sucks, but you know, at least you still get the full roster.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so that's the thing of like no, there was one bad monetization thing that we brought up before on this podcast, but I forgot about Street Fighter 5. Because Street Fighter 5,
yeah, could not decide whether it wanted to be free to play or not.
Yeah, and so it falls into the same thing as Dead by Daylight, in my opinion, where like you not only are the predatory practices that are there in free to play games here, but you also have to pay an entry fee to get there, and it just sucks both ways. Because like, you know, if you want people to pay a fixed amount of money to get to play the game, fine. But if you want people to pay money to get access to your characters and freaking and what's the word, customization and stuff like that, fine. But you can't do both at the same time because it's shitty, and eventually people will realize that it's shitty. I hope, at least. And like the people did realize with Street Fighter, not just necessarily because the monetization itself was bad, but because on top of this, Street Fighter 5 had an online mode, and that's it. Maybe offline training. I think it had offline training at launch, but like
It
had score attack, I think, and like survival. So yeah,
it had survival, but it definitely had practice mode. Yes.
But yeah, but you literally cannot release a video game without, or a fighting game without practice mode. Like, like you could back in like the 1980s when we didn't know what home ports needed. But like past like 2005, I don't think there's been any fighting game that was taken seriously that's released without practice mode.
You asked. This is why I said. You said I don't think there was training mode, and I said there was.
No,
That's just how it was.
I initially just said that it only had an online mode, and then I said I think it had a practice mode at launch. Whatever.
So that's matter. Why I said it did have a practice. Okay, whatever.
No, you're misunderstanding my accent, I think. I said it did. Like, I think it did have a practice mode at launch. That didn't.
Well, I was confirming it, yes.
Okay. I like confusion. It's great. Anyway, so yeah, it had the practice mode. It has core attack. I think it had survival. I think, and then it had online. And that's it. And then you also had to pay freaking like. Then they also wanted you to do the free to play shit. Not to the not to the fullest extent of it, but still.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like Street Fighter V is an alright game now because it's like the free to play shit is not as present because they like, I don't know. Like technically it's not as present, but that's just because everybody chose to treat it like Street Fighter 4, where some of those similar things happened, but at the same time, it was a completely different version of the game. In theory. In theory. Bless you.
Yeah.
So yeah, freaking I guess what do you think about the freaking the free to play bullshit in fighting games? Because people have been talking about that recently a lot because of Project L.
I think there's serious potential to bring people into fighting games through it because the little kiddies want to play the free to play games because they can't get their parents to get them buy them any games. I think that probably the best or highest potential would be, well, the best way to do it, I think, would be to do it in the Dota style, like I said earlier. Though with Project L, you have to assume it's going to follow the League style instead, which is closer to Smite, but without the God Pass, right?
Yeah, which sucks. All right, cool.
Which the Smite style is, of course, buy characters for a relatively small amount of currency, buy costumes for a massive amount of in-game currency.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with. It's a free game, whatever. The Dota model is, of course, preferable for everyone because it means you get to try out every character and get used to fighting against every character. But at the end of the day, I can see where they might say that if they want to make more money, the League or Smite model motivates people to spend more than Dota does, though, and Dota also gets to behave the way it does because it has the Steam market, which means that there is an entire economy to Dota, just like there is for Team Fortress and Counter-Strike, where you will see like some costumes for, I don't know, Sniper going for as low as 5 cents, and then other times you'll see a costume for Axe that's like all pimped out and shit, and it's going for like $400, right? Where it becomes
Yeah.
an economy unto itself. And it's highly unlikely Project L will try to get that going on any platform. So that is part of the thing, yes, that Dota gets to maintain the model that it does because of the way it does things. And Smite and League probably does make more money if you aren't trying to make your own domestic economy within the game. So I don't say one way or the other. I try not to get involved in these discussions because I know that my view isn't a very popular one. So I just try to clam up about these things. And I'm going to go back to clamming up in 3, 2, 1.
Well, as for my opinion, on one hand, I think it could work, but at the same time, like I don't expect, like, I don't expect people to just actually take what they can and then leave. Like I don't expect corporations to freaking be like, hey, we can take this amount of X amount of large sums of money for doing Y action. I expect the companies to go, we can take Z amount of large amounts of money that's X plus 10 for doing things that go overboard. And I expect Project L to release and work fine. Like Project L will probably do its own thing, and it will work for Project L, whatever it will do for its monetization. And then I think other people in the fighting game industry will look at that and they will go and do Street Fighter V again. That's what I expect. It's not a thing of I think Project L merely exists, or it's not okay. Technically, that is the problem, but like it's not a problem of I think Project L suggesting the idea that free to play fighting games could work is wrong. It's that I don't expect the fighting game industry to not try and take an arm when they're given an inch regarding this thing, where they will expect you to pay upfront once. and then they will also expect you to pay large amounts of money for skins. So yeah. So about the pirate.
I,
Yeah.
eh,
He's
I try to shut up about these things. Regardless, yes, the pirate is there. He has a gun. Which
yeah,
has there ever been? Has there ever been like? Is he just going to be like the new equivalent of the fucking Shinobi, where he can hit you from the other side of the screen without even using an ability?
probably.
Okay. Well, I mean,
He's
you know, what'd be funny is if he can do that, but he has realistic reload times.
yeah. The pirate is gonna get into the woolly infection.
That see, we've said this before, but they should have kept going after making the Chinese faction and kept making new ones rather than just like, here's a new knight.
You know, I went back to For Honor. I guess not recently because it was a while back when I actually did this. But they added a new knight, and I went up against it, and I was like, Lawbringer looks weird today. And turns out that wasn't Lawbringer. It just looked like 90% Lawbringer. Like literally just looked like a Lawbringer skin without a mask, and like slightly different clothes. And like I guess technically he may not have had a halberd, but it looks similar enough that I was like, okay, they just reskinned his weapon.
Yeah.
And then he kept doing these moves, and I'm like, man, I don't remember this move Lawbringer did.
Oh, they finally gave him the buff.
Yeah.
Finally got his rework, the poor bastard.
And that's pretty much like that pretty much is where some of the new characters before this pirate were headed with For Honor, because like they added a guy who does the Ido. I forget his name. I think it's a gender locked class. I'm not sure. Whatever. But yeah. No, it's not a gender locked class. So yeah, I forgot their name, the class's name. But like, you know, I get the new moves and shit, but like Orochi already does the Ido, and Aramusha already has the freaking vagrant I am drunk 24/7 look. And this character is pretty much just those two mixed. So like I'm not sure exactly, like, you know, on one hand, I'm not sure that the character warranted its existence from a design standpoint. Or, you know, aside from just having like new moves.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what was I going to say? Fuck. This is the best. This is my favorite part of every podcast. When I try to say something smart and then my brain blanks out.
I know that.
Oh yeah, on the other side, I do appreciate that this character is also wearing clothes instead of armor, because like it's something different from most of the other characters' designs. At the same time, like once again, at the same time, to achieve a similar thing, we can just have more armor sets for the existing characters, and that's fine.
Meh.
Like we can just have Kensei in pajamas, or we could. It wouldn't really it would also help break up how similar a lot of armor sets look.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember what the Vikings got. Like ever since Jormungandr got released for them, I don't know what they're doing.
Where I'm looking, it doesn't look like they got anything.
Okay, cool. But apparently the Vikings got scurvy, and it,
Okay.
they brought in on expert on how to deal with it.
Take that, fuckers.
Did the Ruling get another character? I feel like they did.
Well, they got the big great sword guy, but I think that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, For Honor continues to exist in spite of everyone else. Just in general.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's very much against all odds continually.
Yeah. You know, I remember.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd appreciate if the pirate didn't have a faction and they just started going, fuck it, and like pick any character for any faction. Also, we're just now going to be introducing assholes who aren't on factions.
Yeah.
Because that way they could at least introduce some guys outside of the Viking, Chinese, samurai, knight. I was about to say trifecta, but now it's kind of a quadrecta, I guess.
Yeah, that
Because
would
like,
be, yeah, go ahead.
how long have we been calling for them to add Aztec warriors?
Pretty much since the second year. I think.
Yeah. Aztecs, like, what? Why not? Why not a fucking Hashashim? Huh? Well, I guess that's not the proper way to pronounce it. It's supposed to be
Hashashin,
Asasiyun.
I think. I don't know.
Well, it's old Marco Polo made up the idea of calling them the Hashashim. They're actually supposed to be the Asasiyuns,
Ah,
which is pretty well assassins.
yeah.
I mean, like the list goes on of historical like warrior types that could be brought into the game and could be really cool. You know?
Yeah.
So it would get odd if they kept adding like one or two characters from like one or two types from each culture. And then you look at the knights who get like 8 dudes, and it's like, oh fuck, it's a little lopsided here.
I mean, it's already a little lopsided because knights usually get favorable treatment just overall.
That is true, yes.
Like knights get the favorable treatment in from the devs. The Vikings are the most. The Vikings have their shit together the most out of the 3 actual factions. The samurai get a bone thrown at them every couple of seasons, so they shut up.
Well, the samurai have more characters now than the Vikings, don't they?
Yeah, I guess that's why they're not getting any more characters. The freaking other factions need more to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that the pirate is a Viking character, right?
I mean,
that would be so silly.
Doesn't Viking translate to pirate? I feel like I remember hearing that.
It pretty well does, yes, but like it would be so silly for it to otherwise be like, you know, pre-medieval Scandinavians, a little bit of pre-medieval Celts. Oh, and here's a fucking pirate from the 1600s.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, like, complete historical accuracy was never a priority, but even that's kind of like where people are going to go, what? But then again, I guess there is a fucking Roman legionary and a Greek gladiator with the... Well, a Roman legionary and a Roman gladiator. It's not a Greek gladiator, excuse me. A Roman legionary and a Roman gladiator with the knights. So I guess, fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the Woolian, they exist. I'm not sure what the Woolian are supposed to do anymore. Like they were supposed to get their own faction partition, I guess, with the vying for power and shit. No. They after that, like they said, oh, they're an outside faction. They work with these people, but they're not trying to push their own agenda or whatever the fuck. Or like, you know, they're not trying to invade the land.
Okay, we're scared of pissing off the Chinese government.
And so yeah,
boy.
there's that, and I guess now there's the freaking the Buccaneer character, and yeah, I don't like the thing is like there is a lot of like warring
Man, one
people,
guy
yeah.
who listens to us for fighting game stuff just heard us talking about For Honor and tuned the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this. That's not a real fighting game. Later.
I'm only here for Brawlhalla, the realest fighting game.
Yeah. Oh, God, if you put the Brawlhalla in the title, you'd get us loads of views. Don't do that.
I won't.
That could be bad.
Yeah.
Suddenly we get comments on all of our videos. Why not play more Brawlhalla?
I mean, eventually we will have to record Brawlhalla just because we don't have everything else to record. Like eventually, by statistical laws, eventually we will have to play Brawlhalla just because we don't have every other game in existence.
We're not going to live that long.
That's what you think.
Uh,
But yeah,
okay.
freaking, what was I going to say? I don't remember. Whatever, continue.
I think we pretty well wrapped up For Honor. Said everything we could say. I'm like, holy shit, that's still going, huh?
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah, that one last thing that I wanted to do is just reminisce about how during the build up to that game, they brought in Harada to play For Honor. That was their,
why?
I don't know, that was their advertisement. They were like, hey, we got the director of Tekken here to play Brawlhalla, and he played a match against one of the devs, and the dev won in duel, and the dev won, and Harada was like, you better fucking delete this video, or I will know. uh, and then they talk the guy who came up with For Honor. Wait, what? Did I say Brawlhalla? Fuck. Shit.
Who cares? Fuck them all. Oh,
But yeah, For Honor. This was all For Honor. They brought in For Honor for Honor. He played For Honor. The lead dev beat him, I think. Whatever. And then the guy who came up with For Honor, who was the lead dev, and then For Honor talked about how um For Honor is in part at least a different take on 3D fighting games from what Harada knows, because he knows arena fighters and he knows Tekken, but like it's between the two kind of, but not really. And that's what they discussed. And then that same guy left after the first year because he didn't like what Ubisoft was trying to do with his game. I think he definitely left. I just don't know if it was only a year. But yeah, for Brawlhalla, I'm not sure a lot of stuff went into it aside from, hey, Smash is making good money. Why not just make Smash but easier? And I don't mean that from a gameplay perspective. I mean that from a design perspective. Like why don't we make a game that's easy to design for? that
yeah.
we can just reuse assets and quickly make assets for, and then make it free to play and put in a shit ton of freaking skins and stuff that you have to pay real money for. And that's what they did, and it made them good money.
Yes.
And funnily enough, Brawlhalla and For Honor are both fighting games from Ubisoft. I just thought about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot Brawlhalla was from an actual publisher. I thought it was indie.
Brawlhalla just suddenly appeared on the PSN store and the Xbox store and on Steam. Like when you look at the Steam page, there's a space for developer, but it's blank. Or whatever, the publisher, and it's blank.
It's made by Ghost.
Yeah. Brawlhalla is it this just made me think of a thing where Brawlhalla is dark side. Brawlhalla sits on your sofa. Brawlhalla is
Brawlhalla is not uninstall.
So yeah. I was going to point out actual things. Oh yeah. I guess before we wrap up completely, I did actually want to talk about one of the matches because I had a rather fun match with people who actually play the game. Where, like, you know, because I sometimes play fighting games, sometimes, rarely, I can sort of tell that when people are a lot better than me, even in platform fighters, even though I don't really play them all that much. And so I have matched against two people who had, like, you know, who had their stuff kitted out like you do in Smite. Like, you know, the shit where you can immediately tell when you're loading in that the other person knows what they're doing. Yeah, I had a match because the normal 3-4 matches, which is the casual mode, I guess, is 4v4. Two of the people in that match were like that, and I was like, okay, so either they spent a lot of money to make them look pretty, make themselves look pretty, or they actually know what they're doing. And considering my experience with the game before, they probably actually knew what they were doing. And they were nice. Like the match started, and both of the people who actually knew what they were doing immediately figured out, hey, the other two don't. So they just spent the entire match just doing like movement stuff and just taunting and just stuff like that. Like there's a timer in the casual mode. There's a 3-minute timer, and instead of using stocks like Smash, people there's a point system, and if you eliminate a person, then you get 2 points, and if you die, you lose 1. Unless you kill yourself, then that's 3, whatever. So yeah, and whoever has the most points by the 3 minutes wins the match.
Yeah.
And so we spent the first 1.5 minute taunt spamming, all three of us. The other guy was more befuddled than anything. Like, he just kind of stood there and looked at us. We taunt spammed the three of us.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the guy and the other guy and I attacked each other sometimes, but then I'd go back to taunt spamming, and he just stand there befuddled. But the best part was, well, after the 1.5 minute mark, the people who actually knew what they were doing decided, hey, we might actually want to play. So they started attacking the other guy, and I guess they also tried to attack me. But the thing is, I may not know what I'm doing, but I played enough Brawlhalla in the last 2 days that I know how to do movement good enough. So somehow I ended up winning that match. I don't even know how. It was sheer luck. Like, it was 50% sheer luck, 50% those people going easy on me in the first half. Because if they really wanted to, like, one of those people would have been enough to keep me locked down so that I can't even exist on the stage and die immediately.
Yeah.
So, you know, I appreciate that they went easy on me.
Yeah, it's rare that you get someone so polite, that's for certain. Oof.
There was another guy who didn't know what he was doing, but was very, very toxic, which is hard to tell in Brawlhalla, but basically there's a way, like, you know, people find a way to badmouth other people just however they can, and there's a way to do emotes after, you know, in the post-game lobby that your opponents can see, and there's certain emotes that people use to be toxic, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
And there was this guy who really knew what he was doing, and I kept matching up with him one of these days. And he kept beating me because obviously he actually knew what he was doing, unlike me. But eventually, I got a lucky win in. We went 1-on-1. Like, we had the same amount of eliminations or whatever the fuck. We had the same amount of points, and the game went into sudden death. And he tried to lay me down. And it was so, one of the ways you can lay it out in Brawlhalla is you can throw your weapons, and there's also items that spawn sometimes, but they're all just like, they're mostly all throwables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So with sudden death, like, I think it was the same way in Smash as well. But sudden death is just, hey, once the timer reaches 0 and there's no clear winner, we just put the last 2 people on screen, everyone else despawns, and then they get a high enough damage number that if they get hit once, they die immediately.
Yes, that's how sudden death is handled in Smash as well, yes.
All right. So yeah, that happened. And the guy tried to throw stuff at me because that's the safest. He was trying to lay me down. And I kept trying to figure out a way to go in and hit him to actually kill him. And eventually, we were at an impasse because he refused to move, and I didn't see a clear enough way to move close to him to actually eliminate him. So I threw my weapon as well. It was the first time I did that match. It hit him on the head, immediately dies. He must have been so fucking salty. It was great. I outplayed him at his own game, and I feel like this is something that we need to point out anytime I bring it up as such, but like, I called this laming it out, but it being lame doesn't mean it's not effective. Like, it's just as fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not just as a valid strategy as anything else. I'm just calling it laming it out because that's kind of what it is. Like, regardless of whether or not it's valid.
Yeah. Like, a lot of times that laming it out, when we use the term laming it out, it doesn't even necessarily mean, like, we're almost never mad about it. What it means is, yeah, that's not quite as cool as an actual finish, like an actual, like, health bar knockout finish. But it's near always funny to see, because that's typically not how a match is supposed to go.
Yeah. Like, you know, well, even with a health bar knockout finish, like, I'd consider stuff like low jab, hitting, like, you know, just spamming low jab, being laming it out because you're not doing anything that actually looks interesting. But like, if it works, then it works. If you want to take the win, then that's a way to take the win. Like, you know, if like the thing is, if the laming it out didn't work, then the other person should have blocked or whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if laming it out wasn't valid, the other person could have blocked, I guess.
Yes.
Similarly with zoners. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
I had a match with Pink. It may be releasing in the
And
same
what
week
game?
in Schoolgirls, and the video of
Ah,
it,
yes.
may be releasing on the same week that this podcast is. But I went with Parasol, and if you remember, Parasol works more or less like Venom, and Pink,
Yes.
like I didn't even know, like I just started. I started spamming Fireball because I was like, okay, Pink will probably get through this. Like, I know Pink. I've fought Pink in fighting games a lot, so Pink can just, you know, jump over it and then get in. I don't know what the fuck I did, but he just couldn't. Like, no matter what he did, the fireballs hit him. I was as confused as he was, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd call that when laming it out, because I did nothing but spam fireball in that match. No, I think I did like a magic series on him twice in that whole match, into fireballs, of course, because that's how you zone.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, shit. Anyway, I believe that's all of the shit that I could talk about regarding fighting games.
Yeah. I mean,
All
like
right, yeah,
on my part, for my part, yeah, I've got nothing to talk about as well. I do want to. I mentioned X-Men Next Dimension because I want to hit it at some point, just dicking around. I've just been feeling like it, but yeah, I've not been much going on in the fighting game department myself, other than I guess I could talk about the Street Fighter 4 with Mike thing for a little bit, which
yeah.
that was a lot of fun. He was very enthusiastic to learn about it.
Oh yeah,
He
technically we did play Guilty Gear with him as well.
Yes, which was he had the complete opposite reaction to. He wanted nothing to do with that and still played anyways. Honestly, he should have just said no. Either which way, the I'm dying. Fucking okay. There we go. Yeah, with Street Fighter 4, I will say it's funny how he had a lot of the exact same reactions we did for a lot of them. Like we got to El Fuerte, and at first Mike was like, "Hey, this character seems kind of cool." And I was like, "Okay, so his story is that he wants to be a master chef, and all of his moves are named like Tortilla Press, the Quesadilla Buster, and yada yada yada." And then Mike went, "I don't like this character anymore."
You forgot his best move, the Tortilla Crunch.
Yeah, we got to Rose, and Mike was like, I don't have a problem with this lady. She's just so bland. Which again, I was like, yeah, that's pretty well what me and Addie think of her too.
I mean, the thing with Rose is that like she's supposed to be a Lisa reference, but like I don't like. And even though I've watched JoJo, I don't get it. I don't know what I don't know what I'm missing.
Yeah. He hit random at one point and it gave him Rufus, which he'd otherwise been avoiding. And the moment we loaded in, he just went, no, 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 kill me. And, you know, that was Rufus. He liked Hakan. He skipped, like, at first I hated Hakan and I grew to love him. Mike skipped over that early stage. Mike just liked Hakan, but he got to see Hakan's dumbest finish. So I think he gets to enjoy Hakan just as a joke character. He was very pleased to see all the Final Fight characters. He loves Guy. He seemed to think that Guy is his new Street Fighter character to go to. Which, oh boy, if we ever do get him to Street Fighter 5, hey, you know that character you really love now? Hey, he's fucking gone.
Yeah, here's Zeku.
Yeah. Oh no. Oof.
The thing is, like, the thing is, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I loved Guy in Final Fight, but I fucking hate him in Street Fighter. So I would love Zeku. Like, I would play Zeku a lot more if he wasn't half Guy. Like, honestly,
Mike loved.
Yeah.
Well, Mike loved Guy in Final Fight as well. I think that's part of why he liked Guy in Street Fighter.
Yeah, I tried really hard to try and like Guy in Street Fighter, but I just can't. I don't know why.
Yeah. He's a
And
bit unusual as fighting game characters go.
yeah, like I would enjoy Zeku a lot more if he was just Strider, just straight up Strider.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is, but not really.
He kind of is, but for some of his tools, you need to play Guy, and I don't want to play Guy ever.
Meh. Let's see. He was, of course, confused by Cody in handcuffs, and that was the whole thing I just kind of had to awkwardly explain. The biggest reaction of the night was definitely
when we get to Street Fighter 5. We should only show him Cody in Hagar's clothes and insist that he's Hagar.
Hagar.
Hagar, yeah.
Hagar has lost a lot of weight. It's been incredible. He's on Weight Watchers. Okay, you know what? I lied. Guy was not his favorite. Do you want to guess the one character that Mike liked more than Guy?
Who has the biggest ass and is female? I forget. Elena, I guess,
Jerry.
or Jerry. Yeah.
Which Mike also loved Jerry's playstyle, and I kind of had to go like, oh yeah, Jerry is fun in 4. She sucks in 5 though.
Yeah, that's the thing we all had to learn. Jerry's design in 4 was also great, and her design in 5 is garbage.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the most generic evil woman design, like the Baroness as catsuit with the zipper down. Like, come on. And of course, they had to make the censored version as well because ESPN threw a big fit over Armika slapping her own ass.
Imagine if Street Fighter 6's announcement trailer is just Armiko slapping her ass, and it slowly closes up.
I'm imagining like it's E3, right? And it's Capcom's showing stuff off. And then suddenly it just jump cuts to like Armika's ass cheeks. Hand comes in from off screen, slaps them, and then it slowly fades to black and fades in Street Fighter 6 coming.
Yes. Oh shit.
And it's just simply subtitled "She's Back" or something like that.
The only way that would be better if it. I don't think you'll get this reference, but the only way that would be better if she said nerf this and then farted.
I'm not into that.
Me neither. But it was it's a thing where like, do you ever get those things where like things are not funny and then you get Stockholm syndrome into shit being funny because people keep referencing it?
Oh god, no. Well, Mogoose a little bit.
Yeah, that's the way I am with that joke. Like, freaking, there was apparently a video of a person doing a diva cosplay, and then it was a close up of their ass, I think, and then they went nerf this, they slapped their ass, and then they farted or something like that.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, and so people kept referencing that for like a year in whatever video I was watching. Like, genuinely, it was multiple people that I watched videos from just kept referencing that shit. It popped up everywhere, and then after a while, I was just laughing at it, and I don't know why. It's not funny, but it is. Humor sucks. Anyway.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So where were we? Yeah, Mike playing Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, there wasn't anything else to say about it really beyond that.
Did Mike slap his ass and say nerf this and fart? Asking the real questions.
No, but I wouldn't be shocked if he does that next time he plays against Wraith in Dead by Daylight.
I mean, the thing is though, I don't think like does he actually have voice comms on, or would it even work with the killer?
No, but that would be great. Sadly, you cannot directly communicate to the killer during the match because, my God,
dumb.
like, you know how bad it already is for flashlight flicking and the fucking teabagging. Imagine if you actually got the survivors just running up to you when you're playing whatever killer they don't like, and they just go "fuck you."
I mean,
I fucking hate you.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, like that would be Mike. But at the same time, like one of the things that I really liked about the Friday the 13th game, and like I didn't like the Friday the 13th game at all, but there was one part that I liked, which is that players, like there was proximity chat, and the killer and
Yeah.
the players could speak, and one guy I watched played that game and started fucking scaring us Jason, and it was so funny. It was so funny to see Jason running up against the next to people, and the people are screaming, and Jason is just scaring behind them.
I like to imagine someone hiding under their bed in the log cabin, and they just hear scatting in the distance, and it's like, he's coming!
Yeah. Man, the Friday the 13th team changed. It's all more jazzy.
Proximity chat is an underrated feature.
Yeah.
Honestly. I found out you can do TTT on Gary's mod with proximity chat. If we ever get enough people to do that one day, we should.
Yeah.
At least part of like my favorite moment from the entirety of the time we played Troubled in Terrorist Town, all 2 sessions of it, will always be the Spicy Innocent was pretty fucking great. But like that's my second favorite. My favorite will always be
the Dio hole.
Right? What?
The Dio hole.
Oh no, Dio hole's my favorite. Shit. Okay, my second favorite moment is when you and me were sitting around talking like on that Middle Eastern map, and Goku's wandering around on the other side of the map. And while we're just mid conversation, and you just blow my head off clean mid conversation, which Goku of course didn't see. And you go to find Goku, and at one point Goku says like, "Hey, at least I can get help from Alex, right, Alex?" And it's just like cut to my fucking camera perspective of my dead body on the ground, like buzzing flies nearby and shit.
Yeah. I mean, they were like even though we didn't play because my PC couldn't handle it, and because my PC couldn't handle it, and 2, nice one.
Armbar.
Yeah. And B because we just didn't have enough people to properly play it. But we did have some funny moments, like the Dio hole and the Spicy Innocent, and that one time I walked into the trader tester with the Waluigi launcher.
Yeah, that was pretty great. When I tried to hide in the trader tester and throw the banana bomb out of the trader tester, dinked it off the glass as it came up and just killed myself.
Yeah. No,
TTT is like a YouTube funny moments generator. It's probably like, well, if you can get enough people together, that's just one of the easiest games to LP, you know?
Yeah. Oh, but anyway.
I do go back to the DL hole constantly because it's just like such perfect timing.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had to cut that part down to fit into the video, and I wish we still had the raw recording so I could upload it separately, because you left cried on that for 15 minutes, 15 whole minutes. Like I think 2 or 3 whole rounds went by before you actually was able to speak again.
Yeah, it like from my perspective, like I wasn't even like I knew you were there, and I was like, oh, but he's
from my perspective, I fucked it up. I just didn't talk around that time because like y'all were talking, and I didn't want to cut in. But like it wasn't like, you were obviously setting up for a shot, and then I turn around and go in. It was my fault that you shot me there.
Well, it's also, how are you supposed to? I probably shouldn't have been crouching for one thing, but it's like it's just such perfect timing because like you were off to my periphery. I could see you in my periphery. You were just standing there fine. So I was like, oh, I can take the shot. And you take like the exact amount of steps necessary just to the right at the perfect time to take the magnum shot up the ass.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was specifically with the one-hit kill gun, too, is just perfect. And you could tell there's like a solid, like, good 10, 15 seconds where, like, I don't know if did you immediately figure out what happened? Did you immediately see, like, oh shit, Alex shot me in the back?
Oh, I immediately was like, oh shit, I walked in front of his line of sight.
Okay. Because, like, there's a solid 10 or 15 seconds where you can tell Pink and Goku are both trying to figure out what the fuck happened while you and me are just laughing.
Yeah. Like, I shut up because I immediately was like, oh fuck. I messed it up.
And it was such a tense standoff with Goku, too. All right. Well, I think we've run out of fighting game content to talk about because now we're just talking about whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I believe we can say fighting games were.
Yes, we can. And fighting games were